how to initiate inquiries, how to start the process, like simple steps.
In the beginning, when I started talking, 2012-13, I was very, very logical, and because of that, so maybe I didn't go through all the intellectual impediments and all that. Directly self-inquiry question. I came directly question. I started wondering about what is this awareness. And initially I used to simply talk of that essential thing only. Then I started realizing it is not going in. And why is it not going in? Because there are much more superficial layers of conclusions and theories people are holding on to. So, for example, last few days ago, I was talking to somebody. And I told this thing, simple thing. I said, see, on the one hand, you want to be blown away. On the other hand, you want to become somebody and remain. And immediately he says, that's natural, no? He said, if it was 10 years ago, I wouldn't know how to respond to that. He's saying it is natural. That's when you say natural, you mean that's how it is supposed to be. I would be taken aback by saying, why is he saying like that? In 10 years ago, I wouldn't know what to say. Now I know what to say. I will tell it. I have to tell more things now. Why I'm able to tell it is, I started seeing this, and that is, for me, it's happened reverse. For me, self-inquiry happened first, and then all the intellectual circus I'm doing from last 10 years. So I'm doing that, realizing that when people talk, I see a whole maze of conclusions behind it. And if you directly talk self-inquiry, it's not going to work. So like that, this fellow said natural. Another man, when I was telling the same thing, he said, that is, one is head, another is heart. That's like that. Like this, they have some philosophy, something made up, and it is not even some official thing or something. Socially, people have made up so many things. That is head versus heart. That's how it is. They are dismissing it. So if you have made up like that, where will the question come? Then I have to challenge that. For example, he said natural, he said head versus heart. I have to challenge all that, and to do that, I need to do a lot of intellectual things. For me, it is not necessary. For him, I have to do. Otherwise, he will not budge from that. So many things like this has been fed. So many things, and people are mindlessly repeating it. Actually, these two examples I gave, like that, there are too many things. You see, another example. I was telling somebody, I was just asking them, see, initially you had a small house and a Maruti car. Then now you have a very big house and a Mercedes car. So from when you upgraded from Maruti to Mercedes, did you become blissful and ecstatic? Are you having Ananda Bashpa every day? They said no. Immediately, they're taken aback by that question. They realize it has not worked. But they have to argue back now. Then immediately I was taken aback, and he said, but life has everything. Bevu, Bella, Sukha, Dukha, everything is there. Immediately philosophy. See, on the one hand, he is actually wanting to go towards blissfulness. He wants to get blissed out. That's his actual attempt. Now it has failed. And when it has failed, he has made a philosophy for it. And now I have to challenge that philosophy for him and do all that. So it's not simple. It's too complicated. That's what I realized in last 10 years. People have philosophies, too many philosophies. That's what I try to address in the book. Many things like this I have addressed in the book. This head, heart, and whatever. Addressed means not simply dismissing. If you simply dismiss, they won't listen. You have to give a proper intellectual explanation and show the stupidity of that. And show what is the actual thing. Then they will. See, for example, natural. I will give that as an example. Somebody says natural, it's natural. Dukkha is natural, misery is natural. So my simple question is, when you say natural, it means that there is a pattern, there is a limit which I can't cross. That's what you mean by natural. I have to live within that. Now let me give a physical example. Suppose there is a big ground and there is a huge wall surrounding that. And animals are there. Animals are grazing. They will go to the wall. They will come back. They will not wonder about the wall. What is this? Human beings come to the wall, they will look. What is this blocking me? Immediately they will wonder, what is beyond the wall? I want to see. That is actually natural. So when you say natural, it's a contradictory thing. When I say this is your natural to you, something in you immediately asks, how can I transcend it? That is your true nature. You understand? You can talk of nature in both ways. You can say nature, this is nature, nature, binding, there are walls, this is natural. I will be like this. If for everything in spiritual forums, they will always look back to animals. See animals, that's natural, we have to be like that. No, that's not true. That's again because extremes look similar. There are some characteristics there which are similar of the other extreme. But we think literally we have to become that. That's not true. Human beings are not supposed to argue in favor of the wall. Once I have acknowledged the wall, this is natural for me. It's fooling yourself. It's natural for me to be within this wall. It's natural for me. No, it's not natural. Something in you is wondering what is beyond. So the actual nature of human beings is that. So that's one example. Like that, too many things are. So some intellectual things have to be done to keep aside these things, because otherwise they're there. They're functioning, they're there.
Registered in.
Yes. The whole, actually, everybody, if you see this now, everybody is one big movement. The whole humanity is one big movement presently of unconsciousness. It's moving together, unconsciousness. Everybody is mindlessly saying the same thing. Spirituality means somebody will stand up and spark, challenge that and show, no, this is mindlessly going in an automated mode. Stop it. And that automation can happen in the name of spirituality also, unfortunately. It will become part of that. It will go on. So, some intellectual things have to be done so that this philosophy can be kept aside, challenged. See what I said about Sukha Dukha, Behu Bella, that also has a basis. Why that was said is, pleasant things will come to you, unpleasant things will come to you. It didn't mean you will be pleasant, unpleasant. That jump they have made in that philosophy. You will have convenient situations, inconvenient situations around you. Behu Bella will come to you. But they said you have to eat both of them in the same way. The Behu Bella is not representing your experience. Our experience, we want to become blissful. But that jump people have made, isn't it? They will apply it to experience. Some dukkha has to be there. Misery has to be there. They'll justify their misery, suffering. Like this, so many things are there. I see newer things as I interact with people. I get revelations of how the ignorance is working. Actually, it's not even ignorance. It's one step more. In Vedanta, they make that clear distinction. There is ignorance and then there is error. Ignorance by itself is just there. Like deep sleep is error. Deep sleep is just ignorance. You don't know, that's all. Error means you think you know. That's a bigger problem. That's why I coined that new word, ignorance. K-N-O-W, I put into ignorance. When you think you know, then that's a bigger problem. So for that, so many things have to be told and told and told to do. And that will become intellectual, unfortunately. If it is not done carefully, it will end up becoming more knowledge.